You'll all be familiar with the government's messaging and the messaging of An Garda Síochána when it comes to border security and people coming into Ireland. We know who they are. They've been fingerprinted, they've been vetted. No one gets in unless we know who they are. That's what both An Garda Síochána and the Irish government have said and have been proven wrong on multiple occasions. Well, today it was nice to see Ben Scallon from Grip Media put the arch weasel Simon Harris on Taoiseach in the spotlight today about this very issue, and it was pleasant to see him wriggle and squirm like the worm that he is. So I'm going to play this interview here. You can hear what Ben has to say, and you can hear how Harris dances around this issue. And just look at that still before we go any further. If a picture could tell 1,000 stories, it would be this picture of Simon Harris. So let's hear what he has to say when grilled about someone who came to Ireland who had previous convictions for rape in England and was allowed into Ireland to commit further assaults. And this man originated from Guyana. So let's hear what Harris says.
Weeks ago, we saw a high-profile case in the courts where a man from Guyana named Randy Gladstone entered Ireland. He had 19 previous convictions in the UK for offences such as rape and false imprisonment. And then within a few days of his arrival here, he engaged in the same behaviour, and he was just convicted for that and sentenced to 10 years in prison. And the question which this naturally led to for many people is, how was an individual who had a known record of serious crimes in our neighbouring jurisdiction allowed into the country, particularly given that he wasn't an EU citizen? I'm wondering, how does this happen in the context of vetting and so on?
Yeah, I'm not across the details, Ben. I don't want to mislead you, but I am generally aware that people who come into our country do have fingerprints taken.
What a rat. I don't want to mislead you, Ben. I don't want to mislead you. You're not misleading anyone that's clued in, Harris. The only people that you're misleading are those foolish enough and gullible enough to believe your BS and your lies. And then he goes on to say, I'm pretty aware that pretty much everybody that's coming into Ireland is... No, according to you and according to your government, it's everyone. This was a non-EU citizen with 19 previous convictions that went on to sexually assault an Irish girl within days of arriving in Ireland. So don't wriggle off the hook.
That they are run against EU systems and the likes, and I think it raises a very interesting and serious question. I don't want to say anything that cuts across any potential court proceedings.
But that case is resolved. He's been convicted and sentenced to 10 years. But in the Irish,
any further legal actions, so I'm just being cautious in relation to that. But I take the point you make in relation to the importance.
See, he tried to wriggle off a hook. This is what politicians do when they don't want to answer specific questions. They say, well, I don't want to compromise any court proceedings. I don't want to jeopardise any court proceedings. And then when he was told, well, actually, he's already been convicted of 10 years. Well, I'm just being cautious. I don't want to jeopardise any court proceedings. What a rat. Look at him. Rat.
Importance of having full information in relation to everyone who comes into this country. I do remember being out visiting Dublin Airport and others and being made aware of the systems that people go through in terms of their fingerprints being taken and databases that their records are run through. And I do think as the EU asylum pact goes in, I do think that offers a very important way forward in terms of the sharing of more information.
But
sharing information? How did he get in? He's dodged the question. The question was, how did this man enter Ireland as a non-EU citizen with 19 previous convictions in England? How did he waltz into Ireland and commit more heinous acts?
But do you not think it's a huge problem that instances like this are happening? Again, this was a very high-profile case. It generated a lot of discussion on social media, and we're told things like what you just told me, that, there's systems in place, we take people's fingerprints and so on, and then the Irish public open the media and they look at the newspaper and they see that people are being let into the country who have heinous convictions in our neighbouring jurisdiction. I mean, I would have thought that if there were robust systems in place, they would have caught this guy and people like him, because, of course, this is not the only case that we've seen like this.
No, I fully accept that does cause concern for people in this country, because obviously we want all our systems to be absolutely robust. It is important.
Which means they're not. He has admitted their systems are not robust, because if their systems had been robust, they would have picked up this vile creature when he attempted to enter into Ireland. And what does Harris say? he appreciates that people have concerns. Yeah, he appreciates that people have concerns. Tell that to the victims of the thugs and the rats and the animals that you're letting into this country to commit these heinous crimes.
That the systems that I believe are in place and that I've told are in place absolutely work and stand up to scrutiny. I take seriously the point that you make without...
But they don't. And he's smirking and grinning. I believe that the systems that I've been told are in place actually do their job. Well, this is a perfect example of why they don't. And he hasn't addressed the question and the point yet.
Truthfully, being across all of the details in relation to that then, but the overwhelming majority of people who come to this country come here and are fine, upstanding individuals, and if there is a need to further tighten up any information sharing, I'm sure that's something that we will explore with the UPECO. Okay, very much, everybody.
Thanks so much.
Look at him running off. Look at him running off like the rat that he is. And you know, this is just a perfect example. He doesn't give a damn about the people of Ireland. He doesn't give a damn about the security of women and children. He said the overwhelming majority of people coming in here are fine, upstanding citizens. He can't make a statement like that when he can't qualify whoever it is crossing that border. And there you have it. This is again the most used evidence here. No such thing as an unvetted migrant to Ireland, said the Garda on New Year's Eve, the day before last year. The head of Garda National Immigration Bureau said there's no such thing as unvetted migrants to the country. Everyone coming here is fingerprinted and identified. Chief Superintendent Aidan Minnock also rejected claims, notably by the far right. The right so far is what he means, that asylum seekers are criminals who pose a threat to public safety. The vast majority are economic migrants looking for a better life, and the few who have criminal records are detained before being removed from the country. Absolute bunkum. That's lies, that's misinformation, that's disinformation, that's the things that people are being accused of when they point out the truth. He then goes on to say, note this, that Albanian, Romanian and Chinese organised crime groups involved in drug dealing, car theft, exploitation and people smuggling are operating in Ireland. So Harris completely unable to answer that question. And when the session had finished, when the questioning had finished, he turned and he bolted away like the rat that he is. What do you think of this? Should he be pulled to task for this? Should there be an investigation against him for this, deliberately misleading people? And as a result of that, people are being killed, people are being stabbed, people are being hurt, people are being sexually assaulted. Men, women, children, you name it. So where is the accountability and what should be done? Leave me your thoughts, comments and opinions below. Join the channel if you haven't already done so. You'll get access to a Q&A video for members only that's uploaded every Wednesday, where you can ask me to give my extended thoughts and opinions on certain topics, and I do my best to deliver that. You'll also get access to members' posts for other news stories that haven't made these video clips that I try and upload every day. So consider that if you haven't done so. Subscribe to the channel at the very least and share the content far and wide. And for now, I'm Rick Munn. No risk, no reward. Over and out.